Hello and welcome to the programme.
Good evening. Coming up tonight, residents and businesses across Calderdale fight proposals by the council to introduce fees in car parks described as vital by locals.
I haven't got a drive and I've got nowhere to park, on-street, off-street option. So I have to use the car park. It's going to cost over £1,100 a year to park in here and I can't afford that, to be honest.
Calls for software which prevents children sharing or seeing explicit images to be made mandatory on their phones.
The family of one-year-old Elias on why they're looking to move to America for revolutionary gene therapy.
Because it's the only chance we've got. We don't have any other option. It's genuinely life or death.
And care home residents in Harrogate put their knitting skills to good use to help out their local maternity ward.
Now, first this evening, nobody enjoys having to pay to park their car, do they? But people living in a village high on the Pennines have been told that it could cost them up to around £1,100 a year to use the local car park, which until now has been free.
Yes, the cobbled lanes of Heptonstall near Hebden Bridge aren't wide enough for parked cars. Most of the old houses don't have a garage or a drive, so locals use a council car park for free.
But Calderdale Council wants to bring in charges in the village and at a number of other car parks, or does it? Because the newly elected reform leaders of the council say they're now reviewing all parking charges set by the previous Labour administration across the district. John Hill has been trying to make sense of it all.
If you want old world charm, Heptonstall is the place. A village originally of weavers' cottages standing 1,000 foot above sea level. Local resident Marguerite loves the place, but like many, she can't park by her own home. There isn't room. She uses the village car park. Free for now, but Calderdale Council wants to make it pay and display. Pay all year, and the bills would be eye-watering.
We live in really old houses, weavers' cottages. I haven't got a drive and I've got nowhere to park, on-street, off-street option. So I have to use the car park. It's going to cost over £1,100 a year to park in here and I can't afford that, to be honest.
Marguerite's not alone. The clutch of small independent businesses fear customers will be put off by paying to park.
It will stop people from coming up. Because they have to pay. Because I get a lot of repeat customers that come year after year because they just love coming up to Heptonstall. And if they feel that they have to start paying, it will put people off.
But parking, like everything else, can be a political issue. The charges were proposed by Calderdale Council when Labour was running the local authority. Last month, though, Reform took control. So what now? Well, Reform says it's looking to review parking charges across the whole of the district, as well as a number of other policies and decisions made by the previous Labour administration. And it says it will provide more details as these are considered. Half an hour down the road in Elland, free parking has already ended in one town centre car park, and some businesses say what's happened to them should be a warning signal to people in Heptonstall.
It's not just us, there's like the butchers, the veg shop, so if anybody wants to just come down to pop in, you're paying like 70p just for an hour. Well, then people aren't going to manage to do that and they're just going to go to Morrison's and buy the food from down there, aren't they?
Back in Heptonstall, there's talk of little else.
Calderdale Council described the Heptonstall as the jewel in the crown. And that's fine words, but the actual reality is the actions that they produce is that they always want to take money out of us.
I think we should leave Sleeping Dogs lie and let it carry on as it is. And I think Calderdale should think of Heptonstall as a bit of a special case.
More than 500 people have now put their names to a petition against the end of free parking in the village car park. It could be that the question of just where Marguerite and her neighbours park and just how much it's going to cost them becomes one of the first tests of a reformed district council in power in Yorkshire. John Hill, ITV News, Heptonstall.
Well, it's an issue that's certainly got you talking. We've been asking for your thoughts on the potential changes to car parking fees across Calderdale. And Angela Shaw said Heptonstall is only a village with a few little businesses there. If they bring in parking charges, well, it'll kill them off.
Sue Watson speaks of a similar situation to Heptonstall in North Arran. She wrote, "It's a nightmare to park as the main street is cottages with no drives."
James Power says the key to a bustling town is easy, convenient parking that allows stay times of more than an hour.
Louise Pope questions the effect on other services. Now, she wrote, "I'd certainly think twice about using the library if I had to pay to park up." Well, thank you for all your comments. We really do appreciate getting them in. Thank you. Next, a survivor of child sexual image abuse has criticised the government, calling it embarrassing that ministers have failed to mandate tech firms to protect children online.
Yeah, software capable of preventing the creation, transmission and viewing of explicit images on children's devices is already available, but its use, well, it's not mandatory.
So the criticism comes as new data analysed by ITV reveals that reports of child sexual image abuse in Yorkshire and Lincolnshire alone reached more than 6,500 last year. Catherine Walker has this report.
The rise of smartphones has brought a new type of sexual abuse, one with traumatic consequences for victims like Jasmine, whose name we've changed to protect her identity. At just 15, her world was turned upside down when her boyfriend shared explicit pictures of her online.
Like, I couldn't move, I couldn't really cry, I couldn't really do anything. It was just like all your trust is broken and all the control is just completely gone. And the images that were leaked were ones from when I was 15 and older. So again, it just felt like such a child version of myself that was out there, and I felt very vulnerable in that situation.
With more than 6,000 reports of child sexual image abuse offences in Yorkshire and Lincolnshire last year, she insists the government must do more to protect children.
For tech companies to continue to implement new updates that nobody asks for or needs, you know, more emojis, more filters, that's all well and good, but are you protecting the people that are using your services? I don't blame myself as a 15-year-old for taking those images or for not knowing that I should or shouldn't share those. The responsibility comes with adults to put measures in place.
There's already a number of apps on the market that use AI to protect children's phones. Built into the operating system, these can detect and block explicit and harmful imagery in real time. For example, if the AI software detects nudity, the screen will turn black and there's no option to take, send or receive a nude image.
Stops it at source and means that the user can't view it at all.
Today, the NSPCC says these should be a legal requirement on all children's phones.
We know that 91% of child sexual abuse material reports are what's known as self-generated, so they originally come from children themselves. So this technology would block this material from being taken, viewed or shared at source and make a real difference to protecting children against this form of abuse.
Political pressure is mounting from the inside too. In her resignation letter, former Safeguarding Minister Jess Phillips accused the government of dragging its heels when it comes to online safety. In a statement, the government insists that tackling online child sexual abuse is a critical issue. They told ITV News they're working at pace to ensure children are protected and are committed to making it impossible for children in the UK to take, share or view a nude image. But with an estimated 400 online child sexual abuse offences taking place every single day, survivors warn that children are running out of time. Catherine Walker, ITV News.
Well, if you've been affected by any of the points raised in Catherine's report there, you can find a range of links to support over at itv.com/calendar. That's itv.com/calendar.
And still to come on Calendar, we meet the Knitting Group answering a plea for help from a North Yorkshire hospital.
And it's that kind of weather at the moment where the skies go dark, the temperatures take a plummet, the winds whip up and the rain arrives. Great for the gardeners though, and the growers and also the grassers. All the detail a little later on.
Thanks, Kerry. A man accused of causing fear and chaos in a 32-hour standoff with police in Sheffield has gone on trial.
Jurors at Sheffield Crown Court have heard that Yaqub Yunus holed himself up in his top-floor flat and told residents and emergency services that he had guns and grenades and would blow the place up. One of the busiest parts of Sheffield ground to a halt.
Yaqub Yunus denies the charges against him. Katie Oscroft reports from Sheffield Crown Court.
Well, in court today, the story behind what became a critical incident back in February last year began to unfold. At the centre of it, the court heard Yaqub Yunus, who lived in apartment 903 at the top of the Gateway block of flats on Broad Street. Prosecutor Annabel Darlow Casey said he started telling other residents to leave and threatening to kill people. He said he had automatic weapons and grenades. Residents called 999, but when police arrived, they were threatened too, and the situation escalated. In the end, there were armed police, army bomb disposal units and a wide cordon around the scene, including part of the Sheffield Parkway. It caused chaos for motorists and public transport, and other residents had to evacuate their homes in a hurry, leaving behind possessions and pets. Well, in the hours that followed, police negotiators tried to persuade Yaqub Yunus to come out of his flat, but he repeated his threats. Prosecutors say when Yunus was finally talked down and arrested, knives and mobile phones were found in his flat, but his claims about other weapons, they say, were deliberate lies. Well, Yunus denies criminal damage, affray, spreading false information and causing a public nuisance, and this trial continues. Katie Oscroft, ITV News, Sheffield.
15 men have been sentenced to a combined total of 188 years in jail for their involvement in the rape and sexual offending of a child in Bradford. The survivor was 14 years old when the abuse began in 2007 and it continued for 4 more years. An investigation was launched in 2016 and several trials have taken place leading to today's sentencing. In a statement, the victim says the men have taken her childhood away and she will carry the impact of what she suffered every day.
The church in Mexborough opened up its Wednesday morning mass for those wishing to light a candle or find some quiet space to remember the life of an 11-year-old whose body was recovered from the River Don last weekend. Mackenzie Swift was last seen entering the river on Saturday evening. His body was found after a 48-hour search by specialist teams. St John's Church in Mexborough is remaining open tomorrow for people to pay their respects.
The church is remaining open all day today and tomorrow for people to come and light a candle, to find some space, some peace in order to process what's been a very difficult and tragic event to hit the town.
Hikers and runners who take to the North York moors are being reminded to stick to marked paths after a number of military devices were discovered. 7 pieces of tank ammunition, which turned out to be non-explosive, were safely recovered by specialist personnel. Neighbourhood Alert is warning people to stay on marked routes, particularly in the Fylingdales and Langdale Moor areas, as they can contain unexploded ordnance from historic military activity.
It's our only hope. The words of the mother of a 1-year-old boy living with an incredibly rare genetic condition. She also says the family are planning a move to America to help prolong the life of her son.
Elias Bashir from Wakefield was diagnosed at 8 months old with an incredibly rare form of leukodystrophy, which affects the development of the brain and body movement. Now, he's only one of 12 children believed to have the condition worldwide.
A pioneering trial in Chicago aims to potentially help slow and manage symptoms. His family have now begun fundraising to pay for the cost of treatment and move to the US. Sarah Clark has more.
Elias Bashir is a happy 16-month-old, but behind the smiles, this little boy is living with an extremely rare genetic condition. It limits his ability to move and affects his brain function.
Diagnosis is TUB for a related leukodystrophy. He has the gross motor skills of a 3-month-old, so what that means is his body only moves like a 3-month-old. As a parent, all you want is for your child to be healthy and happy. You don't think they're going to be diagnosed with an ultra-rare brain condition, something so random, something not inherited. It was utter shock. Our world completely stopped.
His parents' only hope is to relocate to the United States so he can take part in a 2-year pioneering gene therapy trial aimed at prolonging his life.
It's the only chance we've got. We don't have any other option. It's genuinely life or death for Elias, because currently he's still progressing, but by the age of 3 he will decline. And we only know of one child that's made it to the age of 13 at the moment. So we haven't got a choice, but also we want to do everything for our child.
I think it could be very promising. You know, I mean, we're changing the toxic thing in the brain. So the brain cells are no longer making it. So that should stop the destructive process for the brain cells. If we could allow them to get more development, that would impact their quality of life and they would be able to do more. So really right now, that's the goal.
Research here in the UK is limited because the condition is so rare.
Tuber 4A related leukodystrophy is extremely rare. There are probably only a few hundred cases reported worldwide. It's just so crucial that more research is done and that it's pushed forward so that these children and adults for that matter have, you know, the chance to be treated and to live a normal life. It's just heartbreaking. It's soul destroying when we hear of more and more children being diagnosed with these conditions.
Through fundraising, the family hope Elias will be on the trial this time next year, giving them a greater chance of enjoying more precious family time together. Sarah Clark, ITV News, Wakefield.
And we pass on our best wishes to Elias and his family. OK, the ITV Evening News continues at 6:30. Here's a look at what's happening with Mary Nightingale.
Coming up on the programme, the Prime Minister condemns yesterday's violent protests over the murder of Henry Novak in Southampton. 3 Royal Navy personnel die in a helicopter crash during a training exercise in Devon. And find out which animals could replace the likes of Sir Winston Churchill on our banknotes. Would you join me for those stories and more at 6:30?
Thank you, Mary. The Prime Minister has today paid tribute to the rugby league legend John Keir, who passed away at the weekend at the age of 71. Born in Castleford, he played for his hometown team before moving into coaching, winning 2 Challenge Cups. He passed away on his journey home from Wembley on Sunday, having commentated on the Challenge Cup final between Hull and Wigan.
We're all deeply sad to hear of the passing. He was a remarkable athlete, coach, and an energetic and enthusiastic champion of his sport. He will be missed by supporters across the country. And I think my thoughts, all of our thoughts, are with his wife Dawn, his family and his friends at this sad time.
Building work has begun on the redevelopment of Leeds United's Elland Road Stadium. Plans to increase the ground's capacity from 38,000 to 53,000 were approved earlier this year. Demolition work has begun on the banqueting suite attached to the West Stand in what is the first phase of transforming the stadium.
Residents of a care home in Harrogate have responded to an appeal from the town's hospital that's in urgent need of hats for babies on its maternity ward.
Yes, newborns are unable to regulate their body temperature in those precious first few days, and the headwear made by the newly formed Knit and Natter group at Hampton House will help them keep them warm and comfortable. Helen Steele met some of those answering the call for help.
Yes, well, you join me at a crucial stage right now. I think, am I knitting one after casting on, Irene? Is that right? Yeah? Yes. Knitting, yeah.
Yeah, so it's a knit.
Yeah.
No, when you're knitting, you're going...
Do you know what? I'm going to give I'm going to cast it off. Cast it away. Thank you so much. But I'm going to move on to another expert knitter right now. So, yeah, yes, you are. You've got a long history, Margaret, of knitting. Tell me about it.
Oh, well, no, I knitted when I was at school. And I was 11 years of age. We all knitted then. And knitted, we had to knit for the war.
Yeah.
So we knitted scarves, we knitted socks, we knitted all sorts.
But now instead of knitting men's socks, you've got a nicer job, haven't you? What are you doing now?
Much nicer, much nicer. I'm knitting lovely bonnets for little babies in the Harrogate Hospital.
How does it make you feel doing that then?
Oh, great. Yeah. Absolutely. I'm not the best knitter, but boy, I think it's wonderful.
And you've got your own little mark on them, haven't you? I've heard that you put them, so you get credit for your work, right?
So they'll know.
You did a little pearl line, is that called? Yeah.
When that baby grows up, I'll tell it.
Yeah,
that
you should.
I knitted that hat.
Thank you so much, Mark. And we'll move on now to speak to Frances. Frances, you brought this here, really, didn't you? So why did you suggest this?
Because the ladies were like knitting squares, and I think they wanted something a bit more meaningful. And when we suggested it to Margaret, she was so excited, because I think it gives them really a positive attitude that, you know, they're doing something worthwhile, and it's been really good for them. And it's promoted a lot of conversation, thinking back about when they knitted in their younger days. So it's been really good.
Lovely, thank you so much. And just finally, we have Joanna here, who works here. 8 years ago, your son actually benefited from this, didn't he?
Yes.
It's Leon, isn't it?
Yeah, it's Leon. My son Leon was born at the Harrogate Hospital, very same hospital. He was quite poorly, and he was given this little hat and a little blankie, and I couldn't be with him all the time. So the fact that he was warm and cozy and cuddle up, it made me feel so much better. So
and showed you people cared, didn't it?
Exactly. Yeah, I think it's such a lovely idea.
Yeah, and it's important to have it for medical reasons too, isn't it?
Definitely. Yeah.
Look, thank you so much. And if anybody wants to get involved, they can contact the care home here. And right now, I'm just going to go back to Irene, because I think I need a bit more of a lesson. Is that okay? I think I'm a lost cause.
Oh, what a lovely thing to do, eh?
Yeah, it'd be a holy cat
if Helen gets her hands on some needles.
Yes.
Yeah, probably.
Nifty knitters, aren't they?
Talking of nifty knitters, I've been wanting to show you for a while, and today is just the day.
Perfect day.
You know how much I love a postbox topper.
You do.
Yeah. From the Yarn Bombers. This is one taken recently. I think it must have been around St George's Day with a theme there. But Paula Greenwood of Denby Dale sent it, and she was really worried because they're getting a new post box, the new ones with the solar lids that look a little bit like this.
So how do you have a topper?
Fear not. I was in Bolton Abbey recently, and look, you can just knit around the solar panel, and then you can get your knitted friends full frame. How about that?
There's always a way.
I know, there's always a way, especially with the amount of sunshine we've had this spring. It'll be working very well, that solar-powered postbox in Denby Dale. Today we had a bit of a mixture, sunny spells and showers. I'll show you the latest showers that have been developing into this afternoon, particularly around the North Yorkshire area, around Kirby Moorside, Helmsley, and really kicking off out towards the coast around Bridlington. So heavy and thundery, but I haven't got a rainbow shot for you today. I've got something similar I wanted to show you.
Oh,
this.
wow.
It's a contrail iridescent. So it's basically the cloud that's obviously formed by the heat of the jet engine as it's going through the very dry air. This was on Saturday, the very dry and cold air above us then when we had the warm temperatures at the lower level. This was from Paul Truscott in Holy Moorside, and it creates a rainbow-like effect. We call it iridescence, and it's a similar effect that we'd have as a rainbow coming out of the drops, where you get the light scattered, but it's through those little tiny water droplets in that condensation trail. Absolutely brilliant.
Incredible, isn't it?
Yeah,
One in a
I've seen
million,
one,
that
but never
shot.
seen one in real life.
Yeah.
Yeah. You need a good camera, and Paul's got one. But
Yeah,
keep them coming.
clearly.
Keep those photos coming. Weather photos at itv.com for sure.
Hey, thank you.
Yes.
See more of them.
Well, finally, just time to tell you about two students with disabilities from South Yorkshire who have been sprinkled with a little bit of fairy dust today ahead of their college prom.
Yes, they've been down to a company in Lincolnshire which specialises in making prom dresses more accessible and have been given the red carpet treatment. The aim of the staff was to make the students feel $1 million ahead of their big day and gift them dresses of their dreams.
When somebody is really in need and there's an opportunity that we can give back to the community, I really like to do that. So today should be a bit of a fairy godmother moment. That's what I'm hoping for, and I'm sure that's what we're going to do.
She always looks beautiful, but this is lovely, and it's a lovely experience as well. You know, it's so nice, because Zoe's always been so particular about your clothes, haven't you?
Oh, doesn't she look beautiful as
she
well?
She does look beautiful, and she shall go to the prom, shall she?
She shall, and look very good in it. That
She's got to do her GCSEs first, though.
Oh yeah, that's important.
Here's Kerry.
Expect clear skies, island vibes, and afternoons made for exploring. TUI sponsors ITV Yorkshire Weather.
Yes, we had that spell of rain, heavy but quite quickly moving north and eastwards this morning. Great for a watering of the crops in Winterset. A big thank you to Out and About Caney for the share. Weather photos at itv.com. And yes, we're left now as we head through into tonight and tomorrow with heavy showers and blustery gusty winds. Always the chance of some hail and thunder, and with that combination going on, feeling cooler in general by the end of the week on Friday. So we had some bright skies first thing this morning, then the rain pushing its way through, but now low pressure to the north and west of the UK, spiralling in those gusty winds and showers, forming in bands and sometimes developing into longer spells of rain. So we stay blustery and showery overnight tonight, and that mix will prevent anything getting too low, even where we get any drier and clearer conditions. So certainly in urban areas, we're looking at 11 or 12 Celsius. There are your sun times for tomorrow, 4:40 and 9:29. Tomorrow is again a mixture of sunshine and showers, but the showers most likely to form in bands of longer spells of rain, pushing from northwest to southeast along some fairly strong and gusty winds. Again, the temperatures dropping where we get the heavier downpours. Still the possibility of some hail and thunder, and temperature-wise back down to nearer normal, around average at around 16 to 18 Celsius. Those showers, as a little ridge of high pressure nudges in from the south, will fade tomorrow night and into Friday. So overall, it's a drier day, a brighter day, and temperatures again nearer normal at best, but I think it will feel cool out of any sunshine. But you can see this area of rain waiting in the southwest certainly could give us a wetting to western fringes on Saturday, and then a mixture again from Sunday.
TUI sponsors ITV Yorkshire Weather. Making the most of summer. Piri sponsors ITV pollen count.
Well, showers or long spells of rain keeping the grass pollen counts down at the moment, but for that fine day on Friday tending to rise, we're heading towards our first peak of the grass pollen season. It's likely to arrive by Saturday. There you go. And you saw there's a bit of a mixture on Saturday, so I'm keeping my eyes on it.
Enough for that rain.
Is it going to be nice like that with blue skies?
At times, maybe.
Okay.
Yeah. Enough for that rain.
Not.
We've had enough, haven't we? It's watered the plants.
That's all from us. Mary's next. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.
See you later. Bye-bye.